Okay, well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Closer Encounters Live here on YouTube. We got just a couple minutes here, and we will be going live on Blogtalk Radio, and just want to welcome everybody and say hello. So we're getting things set up here, getting ready to roll. We got a little bit of snow coming in here in Minnesota, especially up here in the Northland. So I'm hoping it doesn't mess up my internet connection with the dish. And I guess we will see. It should be okay, but yeah, you never know.
1 minute until showtime.
1 minute. Thought I'd plug this real quick for you. This is the Ancient Alien, the official companion book. I'll throw that up there. You guys can see it. I got this off from Amazon back when they first come out with them. I had to pre-order it and wait a few weeks for it to finally come out, and I finally got it. It's really good reading. If you haven't got one, it's pretty cool. But it's actually from the producers, and it's got Eric Van Daniken, Georgia Tesla, Dave Childress, all kinds of Jason Martell's in here. It's just on and on and on. Linda Moulton Howe's in here. Nick Pope, William Henry. I mean, it's just an awesome
Your show
book.
will go live in 5 seconds. 4,
And,
3,
so
2,
here we go.
1. Blogtalk Radio.
Clarence?
So anyway, if you haven't got one,
Matty B.
they're worth the money. They're not that much.
The figures I used to see were kind of shadowy at first.
It is pointless to resist my son.
Yeah, put something out.
Hi, my name is Olivia speaking.
Can I ask Clarence, from his experience, do you feel that they were what they were after?
I posted something the other day that I listened to you and a guy from Australia talking.
Hi, Clarence. This is Phil Peters.
It's Bruce Benson from the E90 group. The cell phone seems to have dropped through a wormhole. I can't find it.
I woke up with 3 small figures, the Greys, standing next to my bed.
Hi, Clarence. This is Colin from Australia. How are you?
Yeah, it's Mike and June. How you doing, Clarence?
Hi, Clarence.
And what kind of experience have you had?
Clarence is an empath. Just having trouble with my smart TV. It turns out to be a dumbass TV.
My name's Lee. Lee Stacy.
Summer, I've seen all kinds of bizarre things in the sky.
Really? You really want to hear my story?
I have an extended find that is called a talking potato, I used to call it. It doesn't stick out, but it goes way past my butt. Your fellow administrator, Melissa Byrne.
This is Tim. Oh. Well, if you don't hear what you get, it's because I opened a wormhole by accident.
Yeah, Mark. Second from El Rio, Oklahoma. How you doing, brother?
I've had 3 sightings, one in Massachusetts, I've had 2 in Hollywood, California. I've actually got to see an extraterrestrial.
And here am I stuck here on this platform. I can't get off it. That's how I felt.
So what is your mission here on Earth, Sorg?
To raise the planet Earth of all its oxygen. And I shall impregnate all human women. It is pointless to resist my son.
Everyone looks at the sky, and we're drawn to the heavens.
Hi, Clarence. This is Carol. I've been
been watching Ancient Aliens since the beginning. I was hooked from the very first show.
I want to ask what's your take on Paula.
This is Mike. This is Lee's brother.
Hey, how you doing? This is Dan, and I'm an admin on the Ancient Alien site. Just wanted to call and say hey.
It's just a shame that we have people out there who take things funny like this.
I'm going to tell you a secret, people. Hold on now. Hold on to your seats.
Or making crop circles that makes a lot of sense. It's brilliant.
What I did was I had to call in as a guest on my own show. Can you believe that?
Rob, is that you, sir?
You sure, you bet. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Clarence, Sharon McQueen, how are you?
Oh, that's crazy. I went to the 4-foot stacker National Enquirer.
His description of him was a classic, what would be described as a classic gray alien.
I don't mean to sound sexual, but Sharon, The Night Together was a song we used to sing together.
Hey, John.
Hi.
I
finally made it.
All right. I agree with Clarence. I think this is one of the best shows we've ever had.
Well, I had no idea that you had an encounter with the Grays.
when it vanished and disappeared, it made like a sonic boom.
Thank you for your show.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. Thank you. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Look at that. We got dropped right there. We got dropped. Wow, if that ain't something. Come on.
So now, press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Closer Encounters, the show where you, the listener, is also the guest. I just got, right at the end of our introduction, I got dropped like a rock, and I had to, I actually had to redial it back into the show again. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. It never seems to fail. And I was just saying on the YouTube there how I know it's snowing outside and everything, and I'm hoping that, you know, it doesn't mess with the internet, and I'll be damned. There you go. So, yeah, what a way to go. Unbelievable. Right off the bat. But here we are. We are back on the air, and we are live. So I'm on YouTube. If you want to check it out, I sent the post there. The Ancient Alien group is also posted on my Closer Encounters Facebook page. It's also on my regular my regular profile page, and you can also get us on chat on Blogtalk. I mean, it's everywhere, so it's not hard to find us. Looks like we have Tim with us here. Let's get him booted up before anything else happens here. Hello, Mr. Collard. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Greetings and salutations, brother. How you doing?
Cool. Yeah, I just got dropped. I just the intro just ended, and the damn thing went down. How you like that? I'm like, wow. Yeah, just that quick. So hopefully it won't happen again. But we're having a little bit of a snow squall here, whatever. I don't know if that's the reason, but you know, who knows? But it was funny. I was just talking about it on YouTube too, saying how, you know, I hope everything works out, and sure enough, you know, bang, there you go. But, you know, so much for modern convenience, you know, technology.
I'll tell you what, you know, I was just sitting here thinking about the weather and, you know, what, you know, how it plays significant roles in our lives and everything, you know.
Yes.
And I was, you know, we've had a cold snap down here in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cold for down here.
Sure.
It was down in the single digits at nighttime, and wind chill factors below zero. You know, just pretty cold for down here.
Sure.
But compared to up there, where you have ambient temperature below zero quite often during the wintertime.
24 hours a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it got above, I think today was minus 13 all day long today. So, yeah.
That was the high.
Yeah. That's the high. People think Alaska has it bad. I'm like, you haven't seen Minnesota. Come on down, you know. Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
yeah.
You know, there's a lot of places here in the lower 48 that gets downright cold.
No, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember one time. I can't remember where I was. I think I was in Denver. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I was. Maybe it could have been I was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was either Texas or it was somewhere in the lower 48.
Mm-hmm.
But the temperature down here in the lower 48 was colder than it was
up north
in Juneau, Alaska.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Juneau is the southern. That's the southern. You know, it's the southern part of the state. You know, down there.
Right.
You know, runs right along British Columbia.
Right.
But even so, it was cold. Well, no, think of that. The temperature was colder down here than it was in Anchorage. And you know, you know,
I can believe it. Yeah. I'll never forget back in the day of truck driving, you know, I'd go down to El Paso, Texas on occasion and, you know, taking some big equipment down there and whatever. And I woke up one morning and it was so cold. I'll never forget it. I literally was freezing to death because I had the truck off. I mean, you know, I'm in El Paso. I shouldn't have to have the heat running or anything, you know. And oh my gosh, I almost couldn't get the truck started. It was so cold that morning. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that's El Paso, Texas. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? You know? But yeah, snow up towards Texarkana. I mean, you know, we've hit snow and ice storms up there and different things like that. Yeah, it's remarkable. It really is. Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But I just get out of the way of people.
That's the thing, too.
Yeah. 1 or 2 inches of snow and it's a blizzard for them, you know. But yeah.
You know, the black ice is worse down here in the south than it is in the northern regions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, nobody's prepared for it. You know, they don't. You know, we salt our roads and use chemical whatever. You know, and nobody, you know, below the Mason-Dixon line is actually ready for it. You know, I don't even think they even have salt barns or anything like that. So, you know, yeah, big difference. Definitely.
Well,
for people.
We made a joke. I remember back when I was driving, we made a joke at one time that I think in the state of Texas there was only 6 salt dump trucks, salt shaker trucks,
right?
In the whole state.
In the whole state, yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You get up, into Colorado or Nebraska, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got they have salt trucks and the snow trucks up the wazoo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They've got fleets of them, you know.
Yep. They sure do.
But, it's different where, you know, a lot of states aren't prepared for it. One place in particular that I ran into, man, it was some of the worst ice I've ever seen in my life was in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can believe that.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely.
You know, if you've been down there, you know what I'm talking about in the wintertime.
Yep, absolutely.
People don't know how to drive on it.
No.
You know, number one, people really don't know how to drive on ice and snow. And
no.
And then you couple that with with black ice, where the
you don't know what he's
get a little bit of rain,
yeah,
some rain or some drizzle or some sleet, and then that freezes. Oh my gosh,
absolutely.
That's dangerous, man. I don't care where you're from. That kind of driving is pretty scary.
Yep, it sure is.
Because you're,
yeah, when you least expect it, and there it is, you know. But I remember a few times, you know, because I'm originally from upstate New York, but I can remember in the 90s there we had a heck of an ice storm there, and it shut us down literally for like 4 or 5 days. We were stranded at the house without electricity and stuff like that. Knock on wood, you know, I had horses and stuff at the time, so I could still get around. I could just go through the woods and go to the store and get food and whatever on horseback, which was no big deal. Quite fun, actually, you know, the experience. But we lived, you know, out in a rural area in an old farmhouse and stuff. So I had firewood. I could cook on my wood burning stove. So, you know, we were pretty well prepared for anything as far as that goes. Now you got closer into town and stuff, and people, they didn't know what to do. They had no phone, no electricity. They were freezing to death. They had no running water, you know. It was crazy, you know. But we were comfortable. We were okay with it, you know. But yeah, I'll never forget that. But it took trees and stuff down overnight that you could listen to them. It kept us up all night. They were so loud from snapping and breaking, and you know, all the woods in that were just devastated. You know, especially your softer trees like pine and stuff. They just bend right over and snap right into like toothpicks. You know, it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Power lines just everywhere. You know, but
oh man.
But they get that on the East Coast too a lot, you know, down north in South Carolina. You'll hear of them having ice storms and stuff like that. And, you know, it's quite a deal. If you're not prepared for it, you know. Yeah.
I know.
It's funny how weather does that, you know. But we were pretty fortunate that time ourselves.
Well, yeah, I grew up in Colorado. So, you know, I was used to snow, you know, and cold winter temperatures and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I had never experienced a true ice storm. And that is, to me, I think that's probably more dangerous, more devastating than blizzards or, although don't get me wrong, blizzards are definitely something you don't want to go.
No, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
There's been many counts of people walking outside their house during a blizzard and freezing to death.
Yep, getting lost. Yeah, absolutely.
They get lost.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just 30 feet outside the doorway, and they can't find their way back to the house.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's such a shock to them. Yeah. Or avalanche come off their roof and hit them, knock them down, then they're buried underneath the snow. I mean, you know, absolutely. You know, you're talking 10 feet off a rooftop, man. That's a lot of snow, and stuff's heavy. It ain't light, you know. Yeah, absolutely. It'll suffocate you in a heartbeat. Crazy stuff. But
you're better off just staying indoors when the weather gets like that.
Absolutely. Bunker down. Let them come to you. You don't have to go to them.
Right.
Yep. Hopefully your neighbors are nice. And,
yeah. But if you have like a wood burning stove or something like that, you've got to go outside and get, put in the fireplace or oven or stove or something, or wood burning heater or whatever.
Yep.
It can be precarious,
Uh-oh. Here we go. Got dropped again. Yeah. Hang on there, Timmy. Don't leave me. Look at this. Second time. Come on. Connect.
Now, press 1.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
go out and do anything out in it.
Right.
I keep the kids around to get to go gather the wood. Get the younger to go get the wood.
There you go. Yeah, I just got dropped again there while you were talking, so I missed what you said there, but that's okay. Our listeners got you anyway. But yeah, I'm having, and now I'm just thinking about it. Was it Sharon? I think it was Sharon said something about that solar flare thing coming through. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with this tonight, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I'm maybe both, between the snow and the maybe it's messing up my dish outside or whatever, who knows. But yeah, that's twice now in about 15 minutes that I've gotten nailed here. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Now, is your internet and all that, is that satellite or is it?
Yeah, it's satellite. Well, it's funny because they say, they with Dish, you get your TV and everything, and then they offer you, internet service. But of course, that's along with your phone. But here's the thing now, the modem and everything connects to a phone line to a jack to your house. So to me, that's not wireless. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're actually using the phone line for your internet. So I have to, and then of course I'm Wi-Fi from that box throughout the house, or whatever. And then I got one up here in the studio, which I'm connected to with the other computer and stuff like that. So I got like double Wi-Fi or whatever in the house. But yeah, so
yeah,
you wouldn't think that the internet would go down, but because it is actually hardlined. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's kind of strange that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but
now we don't get we don't have television. We don't have no direct or no dish or anything like that.
Right.
But what we do have is a little device that's a Wi-Fi device that's made from AT&T. You hold in your hand.
Oh, okay.
And you just have to make sure that it stays charged up. But it creates you can have up to we've run as many as 8 or 9 devices off of one Wi-Fi device.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
But it's way better than satellite or cable or anything.
Yeah. Now you're probably using cell phone towers or something, or I wonder how they're actually connecting you. Being it's through AT&T, I'm assuming it's cell phone towers, right?
It's amazing to me. It's all done by basically some type of signal goes to a satellite deal. It basically is what it does. Now, I don't know how much of a infrared or infrared signal comes out of it. But it works pretty darn good.
Now here's my thing. I need to find something for my camper. So when I take these trips, and let's say like I go out to the desert somewhere and I want to be able to get online and do a show or something, I got to be able to use the internet. And I'm wondering, if I can hook up a dish or whatever. And
you can get the Wi-Fi device, the Wi-Fi device. You can get these from this one here is AT&T, but we also have them. We've had them from Verizon. Now they have a device called a MiFi, and it's the same. It's the same thing, but it only uses. I think you can only get 3 or 4 either phone or tablet or computers on each device.
Okay.
But it's good anywhere. I mean, it's good anywhere you go.
No matter where you're at.
No matter where you're at. No matter where you're at.
I'm gonna have to check into that. Yeah. I'm going to check into
look into Verizon now. They're kind of pricey. They run the service for them for each individual device. Each MiFi or Wi-Fi device is I believe it's like $95 a month, unlimited.
Okay. Now I had a device. Matter of fact, I got it laying right here in my drawer. I'm going to show it to the people here on YouTube. Maybe some of them remember this thing. Now this is an old AT&T device, and it's a card. It's a little bit bigger than a credit card, and it had a thing on the front of it. This is what it looks like right here. This is an old one. This is back. Oh my gosh, I'm probably talking 15 years now. I've had this thing. But it used to slide into the side of your computer. And of course, they don't make computers like that anymore with those particular slide-in things, you know.
Right.
They did away with them. But
I've seen all different. You're right. Back in 2004, 2005, I was broke down in Amarillo, Texas, and there was a guy in there from England Transport out of Salt Lake City.
Right.
And he was the owner operator through England, and he had a laptop that had one of those fields on it. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is called Syria Wireless Air Card 875 or 879 laptop connection card, and that's what it is. Global compatibility. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. But they don't even make computers for these things to fit. Yeah. And it has a SIM card in the back of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, they don't even make them anymore.
Yeah, that was nope. And well, I don't have nothing to take a picture of this to show you what it looks like or anything right now. But I'll see if I can't post it on a Facebook.
Yeah, make a posting of it or something.
I'll show you. I'll take a picture. It's basically the size of a small cell phone.
Okay.
It's no bigger than you hold it in your hand. And as long as you keep it charged up, it's just keeping it charged up, and it has a regular Android plug-in.
Does it have USB ports or anything like that, or is this strictly wireless?
It's strictly wireless.
Okay.
There's nothing that goes with it.
It must be like one of them Google things I see out there now that I told people to stay away from, where you talk to it, Google show me this or Google find me this or whatever. Did you see one of them?
No, it's not. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. This isn't through Google. This is through. You can get them through AT&T and Verizon are the two that I know that you can go through to get them.
Okay.
I don't know if any of the other phone services have got it. I know that they probably all have something similar to it.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
But these things are. I swear by them.
Cool.
I'm not kidding you. As far as I'm concerned, I really wouldn't want anything else. I've had your Wi-Fi hooked up through cable at home, through a cable deal,
right?
Through Cox and the Warner cable. I've had those before, and this is so much better than that. It's not even funny.
Wow. I'll have to check into it.
And
seriously.
Yeah. I highly recommend them for people who are on the go. If you're
you can put that or whatever. You could put that in your truck or in your car, set it on the dashboard, as long as it's charged up, and still use your computer, huh? No matter where you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
No matter where you go. Yes.
Cool.
That's what I'm using right now. Well, my phone is, I have a straight talk phone, so I have.
Right. Yeah, I do too.
I have 5 gigs. I have 5 gigs of data
Yeah.
on my phone that I use, and I never. Well, I can't say never.
I don't.
Used it all up before.
Yeah.
Not very often.
Yeah, mine's a $45 plan through Straight Talk and unlimited, and I've never run out. I mean, well, it's unlimited, so you don't run out, but you know.
But that's what I have the same thing, and I'll tell you that Straight Talk is to me, that's the best service that you can get.
It works. I've never had a problem with not being able to connect. I mean, you know, even on one bar, it worked no problem.
Right.
And I've talked to people on Messenger and stuff. You know, I used it for Facebook. I've used it for instant messaging. And I've talked to people, you know, overseas. You know, as a matter of fact, I've talked to Colin in Australia with it, you know, on Messenger with one bar showing. So, yeah. You know, that's without the Wi-Fi connection. That's just off the phone itself. So,
but
yeah. So yeah, I've never had a problem.
Yeah. And when I was driving over the road, well, since 2008, 2009, I've had Straight Talk, and I've only Verizon. I had Alltel back then,
right?
Before I had this, and there's dead zones going across the country. You have one in South Central Oklahoma. There's a dead spot there going down 69, 75, Highway 75 or 69 through from McAllister all the way down, actually from Eufaula, Lake Eufaula,
right,
down to Durant, Oklahoma.
Wow.
There's a dead spot there, and then there's another dead spot in western Arizona, out there between Kingman and Needles. Well, Kingman and Exit 9, down there where the Loves is at, or there's a pilot down there now too. Big old pilot trucks out there.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
But they're just before you go to the river on Interstate 40. It's zone right there, and that's about the only real bad dead spots that I know of going cross country.
Yeah, and for what they are,
throughout
unless you're actually sitting there for a day or two, you'll be through them in no time, and you'll be able to connect anyway. So
right.
Yeah, not a big deal.
But all over Texas, well, all the way up to into Iowa and Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin. I've never found any dead spots anywhere in Kansas or Missouri or Kentucky.
Right.
And definitely nothing throughout the Southeast, Florida and Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, all that. I've not ever found a dead spot anywhere. Alabama, Louisiana, no place. The only two places I know of that are real bad are in Oklahoma and western Arizona.
Wow.
Those are the only two real bad areas I know of that. Now, sometimes you'll come across the area where you'll have a drop call or something like that. You know,
right.
You might lose a signal for
right.
a few seconds, but
yeah,
nothing
major
that stands out. You know that when you get in that spot, that you're gonna lose service.
Yeah,
that's the only two places I know of. You know, and I asked my cousin. She works for AT&T. She's been with AT&T for 34 years. And I asked her about it, and she said that they're pretty much putting up towers all across the country to where within the next 3 to 5 years, there won't be any more dead spots anywhere in the lower 48
cool
states.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who this is, Tim. I think this may be Lee or Colin, one of the two. Hello, you're on the air. Hey, Lee.
Hey, Lee.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Good.
Oh, going good.
What's that?
We're going good. Doing good.
Okay.
Good, good,
Maybe
good.
cutting out a little there.
Oh,
It might be my phone.
Yeah, we just talked about
I
cell
don't
phone
think I'm
services.
cutting out.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna make us a liar out of us now. We were talking about cell phone services. Yeah, funny. Oh man.
Yep.
So anyway, is your
I'm
brother?
trying to talk my brother to come on tonight. Hopefully he will, but
Yeah.
I think he said he had for work to do, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll just keep my fingers crossed. Yeah, I wanted to chit chat with him more last night, and wow, it was crazy. We got all the callers, and all of a sudden the time just disappeared, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, I really wanted
I
to.
know. It was a nice show.
Yeah, it was quick though. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, already, you know? Yeah.
And you even had it later than normal.
Yes, yeah, I did, which was surprising. I figured it might be a little slow, but wow, yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I can ask you something, Lee, while I'm thinking about it. You know, we were talking last night about the Hopi tribe and stuff like that, Chaco Canyon and everything. When did they actually disappear, or did they not disappear and just change the name of the tribe, or how did that work? Do you have any idea?
I really don't, Clarence. I have no idea. Yeah. You mean, how did the Hopi name come to be? Is that what you're trying to say? Or?
Well, I'm just kind of wondering how it, because according to legend, or according to what you read and what you study on, that especially the ones out in Chaco Canyon, they just up and disappeared, and nobody ever knew where they went to. And I didn't know if it was just that.
Yeah, and it was the same with the Anasazi, that they don't know. They don't know where they went. They have no idea. Yeah,
see, and that's another one too. Yeah, the Anasazi. So that tribe just up and disappears, and there's no more legacy, or what? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, they up and the only thing that I know is, I guess, from DNA testing, that they say that the Pueblo tribe are descendants of Anasazi, but like I said, they said Anasazi they were just like the Chacoans, I guess you could say. They just up and disappeared too. They don't know, where they went, why they left Mesa Verde, why they left Chaco Canyon. That's like a huge mystery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder. I mean, would they be part of the Eskimos? I mean, would they, or would, it's really something. I mean, how would you find out? I mean, is there even a way to find out,
Well, like I said, as far as what I've read, that it is a mystery. They don't know what happened to the Anasazi. They don't know.
Wow.
They don't know, like I said, they don't know where they went. And if you've been to Mesa Verde and looked at the structures, they're totally amazing. But they don't know why they left. I guess they say it could have been drought or something to that effect. That's stuff I've read.
Right.
But yeah, they don't know.
But you're talking, I don't know how many people. I'm assuming it's a full tribe. I mean, now let me ask you this though before.
It's hundreds or maybe thousands of people. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. See, and that's what I'm wondering. How big of a tribe was it? And I mean, when you're talking that big, that's like mass extinction. I just can't see that happening.
Yeah.
The Anasazi area covered almost all of the Four Corners area. Now, Lee, I'm going to try to pronounce it, but Pomovi, there's a ruins at I think it's called Mulvey? Or
The one on the Hopi reservation.
yeah, uh-huh.
I might be Coyote Movie. I'm not sure, but I'm not Hopi, so I could be saying
Well,
it.
a lot of the area around it encompasses all of the Monument Valley, so that's all of the Navajo area, and then up into Utah, into Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona.
Yeah.
Were all that whole area right there was the grounds of the Anasazi. Now the only ruins that the only popular ruins that are spoken about are in Chocolate Canyon and Mesa Verde.
Mesa Verde,
But
yeah.
There's other archaeological digs that they're finding because let's face it, there's a lot of that area out there that is just hard to get to. It's very,
Oh my God, yeah. There's places out there that look like it's the moon, and it's just miles and miles and miles and nothing.
Right. Right.
But you have all these tribes, the Zuni, the Hopi, all different. There's so many different. There's San Felipe Pueblo. There's one that I am is Santo Domingo. There's Laguna, Acoma. These are all the Puebloan tribes, which they say are descendants of Anasazi. However, the Navajo are not descendants of Anasazi.
Really? The Navajo are not?
Yeah.
They're not?
Wow.
They are not.
They're not?
No.
So is the Navajo more from the Apache tribe?
They look at the Anasazi. They revere the Anasazi. The Navajo do.
Really?
They're called the ancient ones, and but no, they're not the Navajo. Navajo's not descendant of them.
Well, this is kind of fascinating. I like the history of this stuff, and I got to ask you, when you talk about things like that with the Navajo and Anasazi and stuff like that, how many actual civilization or tribes, I guess, would you say there was here in the United States back in the day? I mean, between the Cherokee, the Blackfoot, and so on and so on. I mean,
the research I've done, there's currently, this is across the whole USA. This goes from the East Coast, where you have Iroquois, Seneca, Mohawk, all the way to Oregon and Washington. The numbers I've seen is about 560 some tribes. But if you take into consideration Canada, Canada even has more. So the total number of tribes between the U.S. and Canada currently is like almost 1,200 different tribes.
So they're all different name too, right? I mean, they're not like all Blackfoot or all Iroquois or whatever, right?
You have Blackfeet, you have Sioux, you have in Portland, you have Yakima up by Washington, you have around where we have Apache, Ute, Navajo, all the Zuni, Hopi, Pueblo. You have different tribes in California. You have the Seminole in Florida. You have all the northern tribes, but Crow, Cree, that are up by Montana. You have the Cherokee, the fire tribes around Oklahoma, Cherokee, Chickasaw, to name them. Yeah. Now let me even along Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. Actually, the Cherokee are actually from the Tennessee around the area, North or South Carolina. That's where Cherokee originated from. From the Appalachians. And,
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let me ask you this: what makes a tribe a tribe? Is it bloodline, or is it
all of us that? It's our history, our bloodlines. I mean, like me, I'm registered with two different tribes. I'm registered with the Cherokee. I actually have a roll number, Navajo, because my mother Cherokee, my father Navajo, and so we have, in order to get any benefits from any nation, you have to be registered, and even some tribes, you have to be at least a quarter to get any benefits.
No kidding.
And Cherokee is one of the least, because there's so many. Cherokee is probably one of the, I guess, one of the top integrated tribes. So theirs is 1/16.
So they're spread out pretty thin
Navajo,
then. Yeah.
You have to be a quarter.
Mm.
So.
So what would you say is the rarest of the tribes right now?
Oh wow.
Waukesha,
The ones
and
up
Delaware?
northeastern by the ones from Maine and up in that area, because they were the first, I guess you would say, that were first integrated. I mean, they don't. There's only a few tribes that actually have any land at all. Navajo, of course, is the one which has the largest, but Cherokee does not have like a reservation.
They never had a place to call home. Wow.
The Sioux have several different reservations in North and South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
But there's very few that actually have what you would say as tribal lands, you know.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. No, see, I didn't know that. Now, I'm from the Seneca region of upstate New York, and we have the Genesee Valley tribes up there. And, you know, there's
Well, the Mohawk is known from that area, the Mohawk.
yes.
I mean, there's like a big, huge Mohawk casino there.
Yep,
You know?
absolutely.
So Mohawk, Iroquois are from that area, from New York area, yeah.
Yep, and the Seneca. Yep.
Yeah, the Seneca.
Yeah.
They're up in Quebec. They're up front. They're up around the area too. They're across the St. Lawrence River, right there.
St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. That's amazing.
But I mean, you can even say even Mexico. I mean, there's different. We get a lot of their people that come to our ceremonies from down there. You know, so they're
Now what?
native tribes from everywhere. You know.
Now what tribal thing would they be? I mean, being that they're south of the border and stuff.
What I've heard from Mexico and what the people I've talked to, they prefer to be called Mexica.
Okay.
And they still originate from Aztec. You know?
Aztecs. Okay.
They do their dances from way back, you know. So yeah.
Now is a Pawnee?
That's what I heard. They prefer to be called Mexica.
Now would
Mexica.
now does the Pawnee and that, does that come out of that area too, or is that United States?
I think Pawnee Nation is in Oklahoma, but I believe they're from the plains. Pawnee, Black Sea. I mean, you have, like I said, there's over in the U.S. There's over 600 tribes. So I know some. I don't know all.
Wow, that's amazing, though. It is.
Each one of us have our own language. Each one of us have our own traditions. Each one of us have our own creation beliefs. You know, and for us, you know, it gets kind of, well, and it's just, I'm sure it's just natural, but people just lump us all together. You know?
Right. Well, yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Together, you know?
Yeah. You meet one Indian, you meet them all. Yeah. I mean, that's how they think, you know. But I just find it totally, I'm just sitting here in awe thinking about it. And I'm like, wow, it's just, and, you know, because you really don't know. They don't teach you the stuff in your history, especially in school and stuff. You know, I mean, it's not something that they actually discuss. You know, and of course, without watching TV, you wouldn't know about, you know, like, you know, the Cheyenne and blah, 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 you know, whatever. You know, things like that. So, you know, you get a little bit here and there, but, you know, I had no idea there was that many. And you know, that's amazing.
There was a lot of them. There was a lot of them that were completely wiped out. That were completely.
Well, the ones one of the tribes that met Columbus, which Columbus didn't come to this part of the continent like everybody believes he did.
Right.
He didn't even actually step foot here.
No.
You know?
Right.
But the natives that he met, I mean, some of the stories that just makes you want to cry because they ended up wiping these tribes out for gold, and you know, and he said that in some of the stories, the people he met were beautiful people. He said they had no malice, you know, but they ended up wiping out these people in this culture, some of these cultures, you know.
Yeah, a lot of it was disease too.
There's tribes that are actually extinct.
No kidding,
But
really.
people don't know that either.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both through violence, through wiping them out, going in and killing them, or they wiped them out by bringing in diseases. Smallpox was one way that they
a lot of people, I guess, know that one.
Yeah.
Just from disease.
Right.
From the disease.
Yeah, the carryovers
from the Spanish, from the Europeans.
Yeah. When the Spaniards came through, they pretty much, smallpox, measles, the Black Plague, whatever. Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
And for me, most of my family on my dad's side, they're all full Navajo.
Navajo.
Full-blooded, all of them.
Wow.
Full-blooded.
And it's a huge family, let me tell you. Yes.
So
Navajo.
let me ask you something.
I have friends in Oklahoma. They're full Cherokee. Full Cherokee. So there are tribes out there. There's still, the Navajo reservation. We have that last census was like 300,000 of us.
Wow.
But our reservation, it can take me about 5 hours to drive across my reservation.
No kidding.
It's that big.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Wow. I had no idea. And I've driven through there many, many times and didn't even realize what I was doing, obviously.
You start right past Albuquerque.
Right.
And like I said, you drive 5 hours. That's pretty much across our reservation.
The whole Utah plain there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Or Arizona. Yeah. Man, oh man. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's amazing. It really is.
And Arizona, and no, we don't get that. We don't go past Flagstaff.
You don't go past Flagstaff.
But we it's the northern part, all across the northern part, and
all
a little
of
bit in
Monument
Utah.
Valley.
Yeah, Monument Valley.
All Monument Valley is all part of the Navajo reservation.
Well, we have the Grand Canyon is part. That's sacred to us, and it's along our borders. The Grand Canyon. We have our 4 sacred mountains. We have Monument Valley. We have the lake at Page, Lake House. Then there's Chaco Canyon. There's a lot to see. Around this area you have Meteor Crater. So Clarence, I was going to tell you, Colin, and you guys need to stop at Meteor Crater.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
On the way to Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, on the way to Vegas.
Yeah. Now I talked to him today, and he wants to go down into Mexico, down to the Crystal Caves down there. I can't think the name of it is now off the top of my head, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he wants to head down there.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it down there. I'm thinking I may just reroute and head over towards Vegas there, out in Nevada, and just meet up with you guys there, later on. But
Area 51 would be amazing too.
Yeah.
That right there, that'd be amazing to go see.
But
or just to drive close to it,
Absolutely. Yeah, but I want to see the mesa. I want to see. I want to go out
They
there.
won't let you close it. And the Crystal Caves, I don't think you can. You can't. It's so hot in there. It can take your life. From what I've heard, you can't go down there without proper suiting.
Right.
I don't even know if they let people down in there either.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Just from what I read about that,
But that is one awesome place, though. Them crystals are 20 feet tall. They're big as round as your house. It's just remarkable, the formations down there.
Well, and it's nature did that. And
Yes.
it just boggles the mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. It looks like that Superman movie. Remember the first one when he was born and they were in that crystal?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks just like that. You know, it's like, wow. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's where he wants to go. He wants to go down there. But yeah, I don't know if I can get across the border and without a visa or whatever. I don't even know how that works.
Do a little research on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I've heard that people you have to suit up because it's so hot in there.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, it would be cool to see, but I think I'm going to skip it. Just because of time and whatever too, you know.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of leery about Mexico myself.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But anyway, I want to get out the Chaco Canyon. I want to check out the glyphs if they allow us to see them and stuff like that. I want to see those other structures and stuff.
Well, I want to meet up with you if you guys go to Chaco.
Absolutely.
My brother and I can, for sure do that.
Yes. Yep.
Because that's just on I-40, so
right.
Not too far off I-40.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to hit that.
I was telling him too, I was hoping you guys could get up to Mesa Verde, however, that's quite a ways off I-40 though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you go up 491, you can hit up 491 out of Gallup.
Yeah, it's probably maybe 3 hours? Maybe 4?
2.5, 3 hours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
From Gallup up to there.
Right.
And then if you guys wanted to, right along that route is Monument Valley and Four Corners too. That's just Four Corners is just. Not that it's anything, but
right.
Actually, if you go into Albuquerque, you go north on 25. You go north on 25 right out of Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
You go up about I think it's like 14 miles north of Albuquerque, from Interstate 40.
Right.
On Interstate 25, you go up about 14 miles, and I can't remember the little name of the town up there. There's a big casino there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Oh, by Santa Fe?
Nowhere near that far here. Just right outside. You don't really greater metropolitan area of Albuquerque, but you hit Highway 50, and Highway 50 will set you on an angle. It will diagonally cut you across north central New Mexico.
Right.
And Chaco Canyon is 8 miles off of Highway 50. Now you have Chaco Canyon right there. You've got what's it? Dulce.
Oh, Dulce, yeah, Dulce.
Dulce.
But they're gonna have. That's what they're gonna have. That my brother was telling you guys. They're gonna have that UFO conference there, or that Clifford Mahudi was there last year.
Oh.
The Zuni Elder.
Right.
I think he probably will be there hopefully again this year, and he's fascinating. I don't know if you guys seen his videos on YouTube, but
I'll have to check that out.
My brother and John, I think, are really going to try to make the Dulce one this year.
Great. Cool.
But
I hope I do. I want to go too, but
yeah.
we'll see.
No kidding.
50 that's a secret passageway across there. That's why that was a little shortcut that I would take when I would go up to the Pacific Northwest from down in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
When I was running Seattle and Portland, going up that way, I'd go across that way. A friend of mine gave me that route, and it's a 4-lane. It's not an interstate. It's not marked as an interstate, but it's a 4-lane interstate type. It's a 4-lane interstate type highway. And
I think I know the road you're talking.
Yeah, and you'll come up to Farmington, New Mexico. It brings you into Farmington, and then from Farmington you just head across over to Shiprock.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you go Highway 50 to Farmington, and then you get on Highway 64. Highway 64 will take you from Farmington over to Shiprock. And then you take 491 out of Shiprock, go north, and you go up to Cortez and Polo and Mesa Verde. You're right there.
Yeah.
Right
Cool.
there,
And you
Mesa
just
Verde.
come back down, hit 491 all the way to I-40 to get I-40.
Yeah, you can come straight back down 491 back
That's
down. through.
easy. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's what I plan on doing anyway. So,
Well, like I said, for sure, Mike and I, once you get to Chocolate Canyon, we'll meet up.
cool.
Maybe have some dinner or something, and then head over to Choco with you.
Absolutely.
You know, I've actually never seen Chocolate Canyon
No kidding.
myself.
Yeah.
I drive past it all the time, and I've never been there.
Wow.
You've never
Yeah.
actually been there?
I've never been to Chocolate Canyon.
Yeah. I got to
I've
see
been
it.
to Mesa Verde, I just haven't
Yeah.
been to Chocolate Canyon.
I got to see it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's,
But I'm dying to go. I want to go so bad.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
That's awesome.
other ruins of areas out there in the. I'm not trying to remember the name of the town. I think it's called Mexican Water. You know where that's at, Lee? You know where Mexican Water is?
Yeah, I've been there. Yes.
You've been through there. Okay, that's
Yeah.
up there. That's right
Well,
there.
that's really- I mean, you can go. I mean, where I live near Windy Rock, and I mean, you can just go back into if you just hike places, you can find these old ruins. I mean,
No
people
kidding.
don't even. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
they're
ruins
there
all
from
over
way
that
back.
area. That's what
Yeah.
I was going to say. There's all throughout that whole area. There's all kinds of archaeological digs that aren't even mentioned. That aren't even
Right.
they're not spoke about too much.
Now, let me ask you something, Lee. Are there places there that they won't allow us to go to? I mean, as far as, being reservation and whatever, I mean, or is it pretty much open?
No, the one I know of is Hopi. You cannot drive up into their mesas where they live.
Really?
Only if you have someone to guide you or if they give you permission. I don't see any RVs up there. I'm sorry, Clarence, but I mean, you could probably get somebody to drive if you wanted to go up to the village.
Right.
People will do that, but they really don't allow just people to go up into the village.
Oh, because I wanted to see if I could talk to
That's
one of
all I
the.
know. As far as Zuni, I've never heard. I think you can just drive into Zuni. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
Laguna.
Yeah. Because I wanted to see if I could talk to one of the elders or something from the Hopis, and get the actual gist on their, the Anunnaki and stuff like that, and see if what they tell me. I'd actually like to know.
I'm sure there's. Yeah, I don't think it would be that hard to. You could drive the Hopi Nation, but when you're going down through there, there's a visitor center for the Hopi, and you could easily ask someone, say you want to visit the village, or I'm sure they probably drive you up in there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be awesome. I'd love to see that. I really would go in here and
But,
talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Well, we'll
they're
see.
the only ones that I know of that are pretty strict like that.
We'll see what they have to say. But yeah, I'm just wondering if they are still into the old ancient legends, or if they, or if it's just something that they.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Like in their mesas and their villages, yeah, they still from way back. Yeah, they still live like that.
No kidding. Wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Would be something to see. Be like walking back in time. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, they're not riding horses or anything. But
Right. Yeah.
They still live in their village.
Yeah.
Housing, yeah.
Sure.
They still.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we're all of us are people that say, "Oh, you still live in a teepee." I never lived in a teepee.
Yeah.
And some people have that misconception.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Americans live in teepees.
Yeah. That's
No,
duh.
they're basically just used for some purposes.
Right.
And Navajo never lived in a teepee ever. So.
No, they didn't. No.
Yeah.
No, they were outside dwellers, or
No.
yeah.
I mean, there was lots of different tribes that didn't live in teepees. A lot of the northern tribes and the plains, yeah, they did. But 'cause,
Yeah.
they were kind of nomadic. They traveled with
All
the
over.
buffalo.
Sure. Yeah.
But Navajo, we have a mud structure called a hogan, and people still live in those too out here.
Really?
It's an octagon building that faces the sun, and it's for ceremonial. I mean, it's spiritual, ceremonial purpose, and people still, they still. When you drive out here, you'll see them. So,
wow. Cool.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So if you see a weird round building, that's a traditional Navajo.
That's what it is.
That's how we live. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, let me ask you this, Lee. Now, when you guys have your ceremonial, when you get together for your yearly thing, and all these other tribes and that come now, do they all do their own thing, or do they do everybody else's? I mean, or how does that work?
Okay, so as with Navajo, we have what we still have medicine men. I mean, that's
right.
A lot of my people are still very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
They will go to medicine men for healing, and one of our ceremonies that we have, healing ceremony, it can last a whole week. And what they do is they'll and one family will host what we call host, and then they take what's called a medicine stick that's blessed by the medicine man, and they take that to another family, another host, and they do this on horseback. There are all these huge lot of people are on horseback carrying the medicine stick, and so they'll go to the other camp, and then they'll and this could be way out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not kidding.
Right.
And the medicine man will be there, and then they have their traditional the dancers. And they sing all night for like many days, and then they lots of people will be there, and they feed everybody. They feed every morning, noon, and night. They're feeding, the ladies are cooking food and feeding everybody. And you just take whatever, like if you take food to them to help, you donate that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so the medicine man will sit in a structure they build, and sometimes it'll be a hogan. And he will do his prayers and his songs and his chants for healing for that person. It's very expensive.
Right.
And like I said, it can last days, but typically those ceremonies are in the fall.
Okay.
And they don't tell the public, you can't go in there, you can't take pictures, and it's typically family and friends, and, it's not, a lot of people, this is what we do. This is who we are. And,
right.
So we still have puberty ceremonies, and but we don't. The only times that I say that a lot of tribes come together. There's one that I know of here in Gallup. It's called the ceremonial, and that's coming up in March. And a lot of tribes. That one lasts like 4 days. And tribes will come, and they have a big, huge arena, and they'll all do their different dances. They have their different costumes. They'll have food. They'll have jewelry. They'll have whatever their rugs, pottery.
Right.
And then they have a rodeo with that too. And then the biggest one that the whole U.S. has, the nation. And I'm sorry, take that back. Ceremonial is in August, I think, and then the gathering is the one that's in March.
Okay.
And that one is in Albuquerque.
Wow.
And that one is just typically powwow dancing. But you have, I posted pictures. There's, that place is so packed.
No kidding.
You have every tribal nation represented there from Canada to Mexico that are there.
Wow.
That's a big one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And those are the only two where we really, you have Crow Fair. Every year you have Crow Fair. They put the teepees up, but that's still kind of out in the open, They have that. A lot of people go to that.
Right.
They have Calgary Stampede, which a lot of Native Americans go to that. That's up in Canada. But those two are the ones where I know that the most people come for,
Right.
But like our independent Navajo ceremonies, it's not. It's just Navajo, really.
Just Navajo. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Interesting. Very interesting. Wow.
So I mean, there's like hundreds of powwows all over all the time. That's the one. I mean, there's powwows. Each tribe has their own powwows, and those can every weekend. Somebody's having a powwow. So you know.
Wow.
And powwows are typically competitions in dancing. People actually win awards, or sometimes they win money. I think they even win money sometimes. And but like during our fair, we have a huge powwow, and it's competition. It's dancing. They compete. Yeah.
Wow. Now you get many from Alaska that come down, or
oh yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. The Inuit. Yeah, they'll be there. They'll typically be at gatherings. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Totally
They
amazing.
come down here. Yeah.
And people don't even know this stuff is going on, and this is what kills me. I mean, it's like, yeah, they have no clue.
Well, it's not that we don't try to keep it a secret. It's just it's who.
Well, it's
people
your
are and
way of life.
it.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
We don't. I mean, of course, we'll put up advertisements for powwows. Anybody can come.
Right.
Anybody can come.
Yeah. Wow.
And a lot of people do. They come in just to watch the dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple powwows in California.
Me too.
Yeah. Now we have them up. Yeah, we had them up north there, New York and stuff. They weren't not quite that big. We'd have the Senecas and whatever.
Powwow is different than a ceremony, like our healing ceremony.
Right.
It's private and it's personal. It's someone being healed.
Yeah.
It's not something for spectacle.
Yeah. Well, I know they would set up. They would set up.
It's not competition or anything like a powwow.
Right. Yeah. I know they would set up like sweat lodges and.
Yeah, we still do sweat lodge.
Do you?
Even women have their own sweat lodge. Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah. And it all has to do with purification and different things, and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting,
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah.
The healing of the spirit,
Right.
And yeah, a lot of our people still do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just totally amazing.
But I'm telling you, for me, when I go to gatherings, I mean, it's so emotional to me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me or what, but
yeah, I'm sure.
It's just really, it's really emotional, especially when they do grand entry. And then, like I said, you have tribes from Canada down to the whole U.S. to Mexico, and it's just, I don't know, there's just a feeling about it. I can't explain it.
Do any of the tribes anywhere, do they do a remembrance of the Anasazi or anything like that? Or are they just kind of a lost, forgotten civilization, or anywhere that?
Well, no, they're not forgotten, but we don't. Yeah, Navajo are really finicky about the dead.
Right.
If something died and it holds on, you're not allowed to go back in it. They're not. We're not like, we don't. The Navajo don't really. They will, but they don't necessarily go back to a grave and
their mourning's done. Yeah.
Supposed to leave that alone. Yeah.
Right.
Like, and if you're out, say you're by Mesa Verde or something, and you're down there and you see shards of pottery, and people want to pick that up, but our tradition says no, you can't touch that. Don't bother it. Leave it alone.
Right. Hey, we got
like us going into Mesa Verde.
Right.
That's like really a no, even though I've done it.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, we got your brother here. Let's get Mike on here. Hello, Mike. How are you, sir?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we're
Hi,
just
everybody. Hey, Bob.
good. Good.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, we're just talking about the rituals and stuff with the Indians. You know, all the tribal. Lee was giving us a rundown on everything, and yeah, we were talking about Chaco Canyon and how I like to go out and visit that with you guys. And
Now he knows Taco.
does he?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, I'm saying you know more because, I mean, you're a ranger, so you're out there everywhere. So I
Yeah.
mean, you could tell them a little more what you know about it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there is numerous sites throughout this region, like Mesa Verde, and the unique thing for me is that energy that was there, is still there. It was still resonant.
Mm.
And this can be very powerful for anyone visiting there. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
I think these sites like that put people in touch with their spirituality and a connection to the past and to nature and their creator. And so, yeah, I mean, all of these areas like that, whether it's that, you know, Mesa Verde or Poncho House ruins or even Canyon de Chelly, you know, where you have different types of past civilizations that have lived there, and can be very powerful for
Wow.
people that are visiting them.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Yeah, I
and
really.
sometimes it can be, you can experience the you know, we had started talking about paranormal
Right.
in the last session, and experiences I had out of Canyon de Chelly. Me and one of my cousins were escorting an individual, a friend of ours that was from Dallas, in the region, and we made a stop late evening out at Canyon de Chelly, and the northeast side of that whole system of canyons, and there's an area that is called Massacre Cave, where there were a number of Navajos that were killed by Spaniards.
Oh my goodness.
And so on this one visit, it was starting to get dark, but there was a full moon that night. And as we were standing there enjoying the view, we began hearing musket fire.
Oh my
And
goodness.
we also began hearing people, you know, the sounds of people screaming and that type of thing. And it was pretty amazing. I mean, to actually hear that.
Wow.
And at first, you know, we couldn't believe it. But
Yeah.
yes, it was there. And so.
Wow. It's, yeah. What do you say to that? Holy Toledo.
Yeah, you know,
Mm.
I actually experienced these kind of things, you know, that people refer to as paranormal or supernatural, and
Right.
it's pretty powerful. I mean,
I'm a firm believer. I tell you.
in
And,
the last session we were talking about different dimensions and things like that. And,
yes.
And I had said that, you know, in the totality of what we've investigated in the past, these things that, whether it's involving what people refer to as Bigfoot or UFOs or shape-shifting and witchcraft and all of these different things, there's that connection to
Right.
the different dimensions and different planes of existence. And so, you know, in one of the cases that I dealt with, it was a haunting case, and one of the more eye-opening and activity that was going on within that particular case was the fact that there was coins materializing out of thin air and falling in the floor, or sometimes they would come flying across the room. And so for 2 days, there was a total of 65 coins.
Oh my goodness.
These were new coins, old coins. There was no sequence to the years or anything. Different denominations, dimes, nickels, and pennies and quarters. And the one unique thing about all of the coins over the 2 days was these coins would behave just like a regular coin if you took it out of your pocket and flipped it in the air. How a coin will fall to the floor, and sometimes they'll spin around and then fall over, or sometimes they'll hit and roll away and then fall over. And but out of all of the 65 coins, all of them landed heads up.
Oh my goodness.
So, which is beyond statistical probability.
Absolutely, yeah.
Natural, so
the odds would be like 1 million to.
That's the coins.
Oh my goodness.
And to actually see a physical object like that materialize out of thin air and fall on the floor, with your own eyes.
Right.
That's, it's can be life changing.
I was just going to say it would have to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It totally turns your idea of physics and
wipes it out.
Your perceptions of science and it turns all of that 180 degrees, after you see it with your own eyes and know that it's possible.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
So,
hey, we got the 928. Is this John? Maybe this is John. This is a 928 number.
I called John earlier. It might be him calling.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be great. Let me see here. Get him up here. Hello, John. Is this you?
Yes, this is.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Fantastic. This is cool. Oh my goodness.
Great.
Hey John, along with the stuff that Stan was mentioning, I understand that in numerology the number 64, 65 is significant, and the fact that they're coins is significant.
Yes. My arms, I'm showing it on YouTube. Look at this. The hair on my arms right now are standing straight up. This is ridiculous. Look at that. I have actually, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
And the other thing that Stan is too humble to mention is that when he first told me about the coins, I told him that he needed to photograph each one, document its location in the room and the room layout, and on and on and on, collecting evidentiary information.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had to do that 65 times.
65 times. My goodness. Wow. So let me ask, what was your conclusion then on this? I mean, what was the end result? I mean,
for me, I had anytime we do these kind of cases, you end up consulting with people that have more knowledge in the subject matter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and you're doing a lot of research, simply because those kind of cases don't come down the line all the time.
No, I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
Like for us, cases involving UFOs, we've turned to MUFON and Bigelow and different people like that have a wealth of knowledge in that subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
So with the haunting case, I turned to different programs that were specialists in Navajo culture and traditional healing and that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And So for these areas that this was occurring in, if you look at the history of that particular given area, I mean that given area has drawn activity for tens of thousands of years.
No kidding.
I know my sister had mentioned the Anasazi, and you have the basket maker periods and things, and so there's been civilizations and peoples that have
So these are areas. These are areas that are more or less like a portal or some type of an energy field exists in that spot.
Well, I think that in looking at all of the cases we've done, I think there's the potential for opening a portal really anywhere you can be. I mean, you have people that utilize tools and things such as the Ouija boards and talking boards and things like that, which can actually open portals and gateways to other dimensions and other places. And mentioning Ouija boards, I really, it's my understanding that these things can be quite dangerous.
Absolutely.
For somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, especially young people.
I won't mess with a Ouija board. I did when I was younger. And I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I
learned my lesson on it. Yeah, there is there's an energy there.
So you have places like Sedona. You have places on the Navajo Reservation that have areas that are prone to a lot of energy, and that lead to or facilitate, opening dimensions, and so you get different kinds of activity there. The Skinwalker Ranch up in Utah.
Yes.
I think that's one of those, whether there's ley lines or anything like that, I don't know. But I did discover that we had a similar case here on the Navajo Reservation at a place called Satan Butte. And if you looked at those two different cases from Skinwalker Ranch and Satan Butte, there was a lot of different activity that paralleled each other. Both incidents, both cases.
Right.
And you come to find out the Satan Butte case was on the same longitude as the Skinwalker Ranch case.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I really, in looking at all of this, I think there is definitely something to that needs to be investigated and explored further. I think there is definitely a connection between these kind of activities and other dimensions.
Wow, that's amazing. That is just totally amazing.
Yeah.
Because that's where I found my passageway to another dimension was on a sacred Indian land out in California. That I didn't know when I came across it. I thought I was dealing with extraterrestrials. I thought it was some type of a ET or some type of something from another planet. Until I learned that area, the shaman went to going back to the legend, back hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. That's where they would go to learn their craft or to be accepted. And that's who these are these entities that I came in contact with, and they asked me, they spoke to me telepathically, but they spoke when we spoke. It was just as clear as what we're talking right here, here on the show here.
Right.
And there was no confusion or anything of what was being said or what was being felt. And so I know firsthand of these areas, and when I come across them, when I would drive past Sedona, Arizona on Interstate 17 going south out of Flagstaff, just being in that area, right there on top of the mountain before you drop off, there's a rest area up there. And I would stop there and get out, and I would walk outside, and I would, the hairs on the back of my neck and the hairs on my arms would stand up. And it wasn't that I was cold or anything. It was something that I was feeling.
Like electric.
It's an energy field that exists there. And I've talked to many, and of course, everyone that's been there. Anyone who's been there can tell you the same thing, that there is something physical, there's a physical presence that you can feel when you're there. So whenever I come across these areas, I know, like the area around Chaco Canyon, the area around, the whole area around the Four Corners area, just that whole area.
Right.
There's a presence there. You can feel that. Now there's a presence around Dulce that I felt that was not. It was not a good feeling. It was not a good presence. I didn't recognize it at first. I didn't know what to think of that because it's so different. But it's more of a negative energy, and these are energies that it's just like dealing with a Ouija board. So that same type of a negative, maybe not so much negative, but it's of an energy that you don't have control of it. You know what I'm saying? There's no, you can't control the flow of what you're feeling.
More power than you do,
You're subjected to what is there, and what is, what produces there. So,
in dealing with these kind of cases, I don't know if I've developed, an ability, or if it's something that's always been there, or maybe something we all have, but we haven't got in touch with. But I can go into one of these kind of cases, and my body, I have this sensitivity to whether that's a positive energy or negative energy or neutral energy.
Right.
And really, I believe that we really have to trust that sixth sense, that gut instinct in a lot of cases.
Yeah, don't second guess it.
Where me and John have worked SWAT over the years, and you go into these situations and you learn to trust your instincts and stuff. It's a survival instinct. It keeps you alive in a lot of situations like that. But I think involving the paranormal and this kind of thing, I think it's the same thing. If you listen to that, your body is picking up on that energy and can warn you. If it's something you need to back out of that situation and not mess with it, then you should definitely listen to your gut instinct.
That particular incident you were talking about with the coins, 65 coins, all heads up. How much time span from the first coin to the last would you say there was? All
I know is it was over 2 days. It's a time period of 2 days.
2 days.
There was some activity, the same coin activity that in and after that case, it followed me to my residence.
Oh my goodness.
There was a situation where me and one of the investigators were here at my house, and we were sitting here going over some of the photo investigation, and a coin fell on my kitchen floor.
Oh my goodness.
And the other investigator got up with his digital camera and photographed it, and he began photographing around my residence.
Right.
Well, as he photographed my living room, he went into my bedroom and photographed, and just as he walked out of my bedroom, just as he cleared the threshold of it, 5 coins fell down over the top of his head, and I actually witnessed that.
Oh my goodness!
The coins materialized between the top of his head and my ceiling here in my mobile home. And so, as far as the time frame, as far as knowing exactly, you know, it was random as far as the occurrences. There was no specific time interval that these occurred. Sometimes they would start, that activity would start happening more frequent, and there would be lull, and they wouldn't happen for a while. But one thing I do know is that it seemed like when you were prepared to witness this and see it, it wouldn't happen. And then when you
least expect it,
turn your back and you focus on something else, that's when one of the coins would hit you in the back, or come flying across the room. And
oh my goodness!
So
wow,
yeah, and definitely very active. I mean, reactive. You could. I know in a couple of situations where somebody said, "Ask this thing to do that," and it would respond by doing it.
Oh, really? So it would be like answering you then?
Point.
Yeah. So if you told it, throw me a dime.
It was an active response.
Yeah. Have you ever tried that? Like ask it to throw you like a 1967 quarter? You think it would do it? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I never did. Specifically.
Yeah. I just kind of want.
What about the Chinese?
Yeah, in this past year, I was here at my residence, and I had just obtained a new compact Glock pistol, and I was shooting some photographs of that pistol, like you would see on the cover of these gun magazines.
Okay.
I would put some of my different tactical equipment within the setting of the firearm, and I would take the photographs, and then I'd rearrange it. And so I was going back and forth from my kitchen table to the counter in the kitchen that was opposite of the table. So I was going back and forth. And as I turned and started to walk toward the counter, it fell on the counter. And so when I got to looking at the coin, it was actually an Asian coin.
No kidding.
It had Chinese characters or Chinese lettering around the edge of that coin. And I immediately contacted John, and John contacted some of his resources, and we identified that coin as being Taiwanese, and one, I guess yuan is how you would pronounce it, but it'd be like a equivalent of a penny.
Oh my goodness!
The thing was, I don't, the significance of it being an
Taiwan
Asian coin,
yeah,
and here at my house, and I don't know, but from time to time, I will have activity, just out of the blue, stuff that happens, and
wow,
that's
amazing. A Taiwan coin. Yeah. Was it an old coin, or was it a newer coin, or I mean?
No, it's a relatively new. This particular production of coin is within the last 10 years. It's been produced.
Okay.
And
so it's actual currency. I mean, you could actually,
versions of it.
Okay.
Of that particular coin throughout history, but
right.
The one that was was a
modern,
relatively new minting.
Modern day coin.
Minting of that coin.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Totally amazing. And it's funny. I'm sitting here listening to you about that. And I'm picturing somebody over in Taiwan throwing a coin in the air, and it landed in your kitchen, you know?
It disappears and then landed.
Yeah. You know, maybe they threw it in a well. Yeah.
I have no answer to that. But
yeah, I'm picturing that, you know, somebody going to a wishing well and maybe tossing it into a well, wishing on a wish or something, and it winds up on your counter. I mean, that's, you know, you know, I'm saying, I mean, who knows? Maybe so, you know, maybe there is such a thing,
I don't know.
you know, wouldn't that be something to find out, you know? Too bad you couldn't throw it back.
we were saying if somebody wanted to claim that in Taiwan, they could send us some tickets and we'll hand deliver it.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, give them the time and date when it landed. Maybe they'd know who it was that threw it, you know, or whatever. You know, did you ever try fingerprinting anything on them, or I mean, were there any kind of thing like that done? As far as
no, I never did that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
But
wow.
You know, I do know that with one of the coins it left an impression on some linoleum.
Okay.
So it actually left an impression. You know that gray or black. For those of you that used to go to the casinos and you play these machines and you get black on your hands afterwards.
Right.
There was that kind of marking that was on some linoleum after one of these coins fell.
Oh my goodness.
And in one incident,
we lost Lee.
a coin that fell, and I had put it in a protective plastic sleeve and sealed it. And I put it in at the time I put it in my patrol unit, in the console. And I was talking to one of the other investigators that had been a part of that case. And this is over maybe a couple of years, maybe about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, when this occurred. But I told him that one of these coins had fallen in the trunk of my POV while I was getting some stuff out of that vehicle. So I put it in a protective sleeve, and I put that in my patrol unit. And so he was interested in seeing it, and I went to get it. The coin that had fallen in the trunk of the car was a Texas state coin. It had the star, one of the newer coins, the quarters that has the star on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to show him the coin, it had actually changed from a Texas state coin to a Montana state coin.
Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me.
Why and how, that came about, I don't know. But I definitely know that was the situation. But it had actually, within the time that it had been in the console of my patrol unit, it was still sealed in the plastic that I put it in, but it
was different.
It changed from
my goodness
coin to a Montana state coin.
Wow.
So that was interesting.
Wow.
So,
Lee, we got you back there, dear. In case you're wondering, I got you back online here. So. Yeah.
Right. I was going to touch on I don't know if you want to, but talk about the orbs.
There's been several. Well, I'll tell you the one that got me the most uneasy. I was on my way back. We had just finished a Bigfoot investigation up on the San Juan River area, up in Bloomfield, New Mexico. And I was on my way back. It was about 2 a.m, and I'm driving through the reservation. So I'm in an area called Bidavochi or Indian Wells, Chilute.
Okay.
And from that Pitahochi Junction there to Delcon is 15 miles. As I went through an area that's locally known as the Sugar Bowl, which is a really big dip where the road just goes down into this valley and then comes back out on the other side. I noticed behind me as I was driving what looked like a greenish tinged street light, or that's about how big it was. As I'm driving and I keep going over through these hills, I keep noticing this light popping up. And pretty soon this was unusual because the light shouldn't be reappearing. It's almost as if it's on the road behind me now.
Right, right.
So I'm starting to watch it very carefully in my rear view mirror, but I'm still driving about maybe 60 miles an hour. And as I'm driving, this thing comes up behind me, and it's still green, it's still around. And I don't know what it is. I didn't know that they were classified as orbs.
Right.
So as I go along, now I'm watching it really intently, and it's following about 100 yards behind my vehicle, about the same height as I am. And as I watched it, I got near Delcon, so it's already followed me pretty close to 10 miles.
Oh my goodness.
And it veered off to my left, or the driver's side of the vehicle, and headed toward the south at an angle. And it went over a barbed wire fence and continued on across the desert there, and headed over toward a mesa that's about maybe 3 or 4 miles away. So as it was drifting across there, I could see the ground under it lit up.
Oh my goodness.
What I thought was very interesting was that I happen to know from patrolling that area a lot that there are no roads that were going through where it was traveling.
Oh my goodness. So it's going over vacant land, just floating across.
So I'm still driving. I get to Delcon, and this thing gets up on top of the mesa, and it skips across to the top of another mesa. So now it's following me in parallel.
Oh my goodness.
And during this time, this thing turned red. And that's when I got this real uneasy feeling, like Stan was talking about. There's a sixth sense that you have where you know that something's not right.
Yeah, exactly.
And it had this malevolent feeling. And so I continued through Delcon, and it continued to parallel me for another 10 miles until I got to the State Route 87 and Route 15 junction. At that point, now I'm really looking at it, and it's starting to creep me out just a little bit. So my response, I thought at first, maybe turn a spotlight on it,
right.
Get my gun out or something, because, we like to poke things with a stick or shoot them,
Sure.
We don't understand what they are.
Right.
Instead, what I did is I started to accelerate and got it up to about 75 miles an hour, and it didn't follow me any further.
Wow.
Of course, I was looking over my shoulder the rest of the trip home.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, that was a very unsettling experience.
But you didn't want to.
Something was watching me.
You didn't want to turn around and go back and see where it went or nothing either, right? I mean, time to move on, huh?
No. After a long day hiking in the brush and,
sure.
and driving all night, I was pretty tired, but I had my wits about me enough to realize that there was something unusual going on, and this wasn't this wasn't swamp gas. This wasn't Venus.
Yeah.
This wasn't ice crystals. You know.
Definitely not. Wow.
And ball lightning doesn't follow you for 20 miles.
And it doesn't change color like that either.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
You need to pay it.
That's totally amazing. Man.
So yeah, that was not the strangest thing that's happened to me, but
that's
the one that put me most on the edge, I think.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, we were talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Days that have followed us being out investigating on a Bigfoot case for about, I think we're out there 3 days, 2 or 3 days, and but this occurred right after that incident, as he was going home from that investigation.
So you think it was connected to that in any way?
Well, that's one of the things he and I have often questioned.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because the probability of something like that occurring
is minimal.
Following an intense investigation that we did.
Yes. Yeah.
Related to people citing what they were calling a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we don't know.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Unbelievable.
And also in all the years that we've been doing these investigations, we've seen parallels in the incidents of UFO sightings, and at the same time we see increases in Bigfoot sightings.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I've heard that said many times by other people too. The same thing, that when they start citing Bigfoots, usually the UFO sightings or orb sightings, and some other anomaly will appear. More so than not. And it gives a really good connection. I mean, it seems like they definitely have to be connected some way or somehow. Because it's just too coincidental that you get both, not just one or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Wow. That's amazing. Totally amazing. Well, while I got you guys here, we were talking earlier about the Hopi and the Anasazi and stuff like that, and how the Anasazi and that just up and disappeared mysteriously and whatever. Do you have any take on that yourself? I mean, other than just strictly legend, or has anybody ever really?
I'll let John speak to any of that. He's the specialist in that field, so I'll let him answer that.
Yeah, for 27 years, I was the archaeological crime specialist for the Four Corners area. And my counterpart retired. I retired, so I don't think anybody's doing that anymore.
Oh.
What we saw, there's a lot of different theories. There's some that say that the Anasazi pretty much starved themselves by over competing with the land and cutting all the trees down. There's some that say that they were driven out, or that the Anasazi are the modern day Pueblos. You could take any of those theories and run with it and probably be correct in some way. But for some reason, they left these massive residences like Chapel Canyon, Mesa Verde, Poncho House, and just disappear and go into seclusion, and you don't hear about them anymore.
Right. Exactly.
And so this is a huge mystery that nobody's really been able to completely solve.
And
we're seeing skeletal remains 700 to 900 years old, and then for some reason they're gone, and you don't hear anything more about them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm talking about a tribe that, how many people they figured was in this tribe?
Oh, there had to have been millions.
Millions.
There were most likely millions.
Oh
We
my
have,
gosh.
Anasazi site densities in some area that'll go 30 sites per square mile.
30 sites per square mile? Seriously?
Yeah, serious.
Wow.
I found a pueblo that was being looted. And at the time, we called the archaeologists in, and they located 240 rooms in that pueblo.
Oh my goodness.
And this was just one small place. And they had hundreds of these all over the place.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it wasn't that, John and Jane Anasazi lived in one room. They
Right.
might have had 5 or 8 people living in one room. So there's no telling how large of a population. Plus the centers like Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon would have a large settlement there, and then outside of that they'd have farming areas and other places where there would be more or less pit house type structures.
Mm. Mm. And
So we find evidence of them pretty much everywhere.
now they claim too with Chaco Canyon, just by the way the buildings were built in that was a significance. There was a reason why they lived in them particular buildings and stuff. Like they were afraid of something, or they were trying to be above something, or whatever. Do you find that as a significance, or do you think that's just the way they lived? I mean,
some of the places that I've been in, I mean, you haven't lived until you've been 200 feet up on a steeply angled sandstone wall.
yeah, yeah.
Finding footholds. And can you imagine trying to attack a place like that?
No.
Yeah, they were defensive in construction.
And nobody really knows the reason why.
Along there, they had an enemy, and all the Indian tribes in the United States, a lot of them didn't get along with each other.
Right.
And you had traditional enemies.
Right.
And so, there is some conjecture that they built defensive communities and probably had outlying communities from there. Along the little Colorado River here in Loup, I plotted some of these little places where they had little small pit house communities. They were obviously farming near the river. When you plotted them on a topo map, they all lined up in a straight line.
Oh my goodness! No kidding. Wow,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Over 20 miles of area.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
They were sophisticated. They probably had a lot of knowledge, but for some reason and they had trade routes all the way to Mexico. They found parrot feathers in some of the tips.
No kidding.
Up in Canyon. Domestic turkeys up there in pens and parrot feathers.
Wow. So that's amazing. That is totally amazing. And they just up and disappeared like that. Just and nobody seems to know what happened. How do you not?
Well, maybe they're all on Planet X and they're coming back.
Planet X, yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Well, gee whiz, yeah. That millions of people. That's just amazing. I'm dumbfounded. I just can't fathom that.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the more questions come up.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I'm definitely going to make a trip there. We're going to definitely have to look at this and you know, is it open to the public? Certain spots here where you can actually, you know, check these things out, or do they keep it?
There are a few places that the National Park Service Anasazi and ruins.
Okay.
However, most of them are not available to the public. The only ones that are allowed to go there are medicine men.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
And archaeologists and rangers.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And there is a definite.
90 seconds.
But you can't enter them. You can't go into or trespass into the actual structures.
Right.
Simply because there has been damage and in the past.
Have they blocked off like Mesa Verde? Can you? I know at one time you could go into Mesa Verde.
I don't know about Mesa Verde anymore.
I'm not sure about entering the structures.
Yeah.
60 seconds.
No. Oh boy, look at that. We're running out of time already. Look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, gentlemen, I am so glad that you called us back tonight and gave us the rundown on that. And we'll definitely have to do this again here in the near future. I love talking to you guys. It's just totally amazing me. Yeah. You know, it's just awesome, awesome stuff.
Very interesting, guys. Very interesting.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for having us on. Being part of the conversation. Glad to have been here.
Oh, I am so happy you guys called us back, no doubt. Yeah, and we'll definitely get together. I mean, like I said, we're going to make a trip down there and
10 seconds.
Yeah, just to sit with you and just powwow with you about stuff. I mean, it's going to be awesome, you know. So
that'll be real nice.
I'm actually looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, Clarence.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And Tim, somehow we're going to have to get you with us, buddy. So.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? This way, Clarence.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All righty. Well,
good night to everybody.
Yes, thank you very much, and everybody have a great evening.
Good night from Luke.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, folks. Well, unfortunately, we ran out of time. Awesome show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're going to have to get back together with them again here in the near future. It's just amazing, the things that have come up and whatever. And if we can get some kind of a connection to this, this is going to be the year. I honestly, last night we talked about it, and I think maybe we can actually put something together here. So, but in the meantime, yeah, absolutely. So in the meantime, Tim, everybody, keep your eyes to the sky, and thank you all very much for being with us.
Right, all right. Have a good one, man.
You too. Have a good evening.